So Javier Hernandez. Javier Hernandez is the Mexican known as Chicharito. Played for many different football clubs: Manchester United, Real Madrid, Sevilla, West Ham, Los Angeles Galaxy. He's actually quite accomplished. Let's look at his clubs, and then we'll see how far he has gone in his career. He was born in 1988. Wow. So he's just 37 years old. Born in Mexico, Jalisco, Guadalajara. Different clubs. Let's see. Guadalajara, United, Madrid, Leverkusen, West Ham, Sevilla, Galaxy, and back to Guadalajara. It's 2 goals for Mexico. So, honors. Mexican Premier Division, Manchester United, FA Cup, Premier League, Community Shield, Champions League runner-up, La Liga runner-up, Club World Cup winner, Europa League winner with Sevilla, and won 3 trophies with Mexico. CONCACAF Gold Cup, CONCACAF Cup. Man, what a shitty confederation. Like, what's the difference between these two? What's the difference between the CONCACAF Cup and the CONCACAF Gold Cup? Whatever. Anyway, and see all the individual awards he's won, including this for Player of the Year, Manchester United, Bundesliga Idol, Bundesliga Player of the Month, La Liga Goal of the Month. So he's Player of the Year, Golden Boot. Wow, he won nothing with Galaxy. That's shocking. How many goals did he score for Galaxy? 39 goals in 82 games. Not bad, not bad. So here's what he says. So, as a woman, you are looking for a male provider, yet consider house cleaning to be patriarchal oppression. Interesting. That's so funny and true, right? Like, when you tell a woman, I do this a lot. I do this a lot when I talk to a woman. I just present to her that, I'm going to cook, clean my house, wash my clothes, iron my clothes. And a lot of times women say, oh, am I your slave? And it's so strange because by the time you start talking about marriage with women, many men have gone through this. They'll start talking about, you need to get me a maid. I need a house help. I need a maid to do these things. So you want to delegate, you want to outsource your domestic duties to another woman. It's so strange. It's something that is so common that people don't even notice it anymore. So when you marry a woman, you pay all this money, pay the bride price, you bring her to your house, get a house for her to come into. And the next thing you have to do is to bring in another woman to take care of the house that you got your wife for. Isn't that strange? Doesn't anybody see that? And then the woman generally treats that house help with contempt or whatever. That happens. And of course, the man, as benevolent and compassionate, starts to fall for the house help. Or young. That does happen. and then, I mean, the story or the theory, you marry the woman, you have to get a house help. The house help comes in, kneels down to greet you, does all the chores, treats you with the respect that you deserve as a man because you are her employer, but your wife sees you as her equal. See? So, in that spirit, the man becomes slightly more attracted to the subservient, docile house help. And then he maybe has sex with her once or twice, falls in love, and then marries the house help. Right? He kicks his wife out of the house and marries the nanny. And then the nanny, now the wife, has to hire a new nanny to take care of the house chores because now she's equal to the man. And therefore, she can't be doing the house chores and the cooking and the taking care of the babies that got her that position in the first place. It's called the Ekaite principle, trademarked. So it is sad to me that someone like Javier Hernandez, a Mexican, has to come out and say things like this. I would think that as a football player, somebody who has made a lot of money in his career, playing for all these different clubs, playing at a very, 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 very level, it is shocking that a player like this would have to come out to be talking about patriarchy. I would think that someone of his economic position would not be dealing with things like this, but truly it means that it's a global, worldwide, ubiquitous phenomenon. He's from Mexico. Mexican women are allegedly supposed to be the most subservient in the world, but it's clear that's not the case. Is he married? Personal life, devout Catholic, honorary associates. Oh, Wow, he was fined and warned by the Mexican Football Federation after he made a series of sexist remarks on social media that was widely criticized, including by Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum. He subsequently expressed regret. Oh my God. Oh, that gives this a little bit more perspective, the fact that he expressed regret for saying these things. I'm not going to give them any more weight because he didn't double down on them. He expresses regret for saying these things, which are the truth. But let's continue and get through this very quickly. Women are failing. They are eradicating masculinity and making society hypersensitive. This is not possible without the participation of men. And this is kind of the problem, isn't it? Women, they are eradicating masculinity cannot be eradicated by a woman. Masculinity can only be eradicated by a man. Right? A woman can only eradicate the masculinity of a young child. She can bully him, that's her son. She can bully him and feminize him and make him wear a towel like a woman, put him in girl clothes, ask Jeff Younger. You can do all these things to attempt to remove the masculine soul from your child, from your son. But that's a lie, because by the time the boy becomes 10, 11, his true nature starts to come out. And then in that case, the woman starts to lose control, the spiritual control that she's had over the son for a very long time. And then his true nature starts to come out. So the question is whether with your true nature as a man, you are able to speak up, say the masculine things that come to your heart because it's divinely revealed. And then do you have the courage as a man to stand up for these things that you're saying? Chicharito clearly doesn't. He expressed regret for saying the truth because a Jew told you to. Chicharito expresses regrets after backlash in Mexico for very sexist comments on gender roles. I deeply regret any confusion and discomfort in my recent words may have caused. It was never into my intention to limit her to divide. Like, fuck off. To grow and continue working to be a better. Oh my God. I am disappointed with this. So he says, embody your feminine energy, caring, nurturing, receiving, multiplying, cleaning, sustaining the home, which is the most precious place for the men. So what he's talking about is the fact that when a man becomes a millionaire, when a man becomes a man, he becomes someone who's able to provide. The first thing he does is he looks for and seeks out a woman who can make his house a home, right? Because no amount of video games, bitches coming to the house will make that house into a home, right? So men, generally, I don't know what kind of social conditioning does that, but invariably they will want to find a woman who will come and turn this house into a home. That is, you leave the house in the morning, you leave the wife at home in the morning, you have total trust that she'll take care of your children, take care of your house. You come back and your wife is there, taking care of the children, taking care of your house. But what he has noticed is that he goes out, leaves the house, he comes back and his wife is not. His wife too is working somewhere for another man or something, whatever it is. This is not just Javier Hernandez. This is many men. Many women work in banks. Many women work in law offices. Their husbands come home and their wives are not there. It's like for a man to experience it, it's worse than infidelity for a man to come home and his wife is not home. Like it's the worst thing. And also conversely, as a man, if you are going to work in the morning and you leave or your wife leaves the house before you should check yourself. Just find a way to check yourself, honestly. So the reverse is also the case. If you get home and your wife's not home, you should also check yourself. I think the solution to that particular scenario would be to work more hours or whatever the case may be. Just do something to make sure that when you get back home, your wife is home. But it is a significant issue. It has to be said. So he said, do not be afraid to be a woman. Do not be afraid to allow yourself to be led by a man who wants nothing more than to see you happy. I mean, led by a man. Women will object to this. Claudia Sheinbaum is the president of Mexico. She doesn't want to be led by a man. She wants to lead men. And how many people died for Claudia Sheinbaum to be president, by the way? Anyway, we as men are failing in our lack of commitment. They are trying to eradicate masculinity because in certain cases in the past, the feminine energy was suppressed, but many of us are here wanting to love them, care for them, respect them, and provide for them. What is he talking about? I wish I would know. what he's talking about. Is he married? I mean, for a man to come out and say all these things, it's not just because he's watching Fresh and Fit. Something must be happening in his life, personal life. Is he married? Okay, yeah. So, here we go. In January 2019, Chicharito and his then wife, Sarah Cohen, Australian model of Romanian descent and travel blogger, announced on Instagram that they were expecting their first child. Their son was born, their daughter was born. Okay. So they are divorced because his supermodel wife doesn't want to be a mother. Sarah Cohen, I hope she's not like Claudia Sheinbaum. 1 million followers. Ooh, let's see what she looks like. Okay. No, yeah. I mean, this is what you marry. A woman who takes these types of pictures, holding only a handkerchief to cover her breasts. These are his children. Okay, so this is her. I mean, isn't this just sad? Where you have a wife and she takes naked pictures to post on social media. Isn't that just funny? That's not enough, is it? Harvard, wow, law and commerce. Yeah, you're fucked. Of course you're fucked. She went to Harvard and studied law and commerce. That's it. It's not bad at all. I think we can use that as a thumbnail. Anyway, so, but you women, the problem is he's talking to women. And Coach says it, and I agree with him even before he said it, that it's not a man's place to talk to women. You know, it's like the gays. You don't argue with gay people. You just ignore them. Or, but it's the same thing with women, right? Because men and women, as they talk, we can never understand each other. Because, like they say, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. It's like we talk along parallel lines, right? So we may be facing each other, or we may be talking, but we're not on the same lane. We're not facing the same direction. We're facing opposite directions, even though we're saying the same thing. So no matter what, as long as a man saying these things to a woman, she can never understand them because it's coming from a man. She can never imbibe them. It's just not possible. So really, the only man who can talk to a woman actually is her father. And he can only do that when she's a very, very young girl. So, it may get through to their head, but who are you as a man to talk to a woman? Like, you just can't. You're not qualified to do that. So, I mean, what he's saying is true. I'm not saying one thing here that I disagree with, but listen to what he said. But you women have to learn how to receive and honor masculinity. Let us accept the truth and change enough to create the humanity we have always sought. We did a video earlier about women wanting to destroy the world, right? Women are choosing not to have babies. Men want to eradicate humanity. And here's this guy trying to say women should help us save humanity. You can't. Women hate humanity. That's the point here. Because what is wrong with anything that he has said here? Feminine energy, caring, nurturing, receiving, multiplying, cleaning and sustaining the home. What is bad in these things? Most women will say, no, I'd rather have some slave girl do it for me. Women want to be men. So you have no right to tell women to honor and receive masculinity. They're already masculine themselves. We've seen that already. Women are having sex with underage boys. They're already men. Anyway, leave a like, subscribe. Terrible. Comment down below. See you in the next one. Out.